Frederick Parkhurst Dodd was a banker, and a good one. But he quit the bank and metamorphosed into one of the world's great collectors of insects. He became famous as the butterfly man of Kuranda.
He was a bank clerk in Victoria and was transferred against his will to the tropics of Townsville and went out with an English butterfly collector and got bitten by the bug.
The aristocratic collector, gallivanting through the parkland in his fine dress, sporting a large net, is a popular image. But that's actually the way it was done. This is F.P. Dodd's own net. And here he is, hard at it.
So in the evening when Mr. Dodd got home, he'd have his own little pinning box like this, and in the box are these what we call setting trays, and he'd pin the specimens out, hold them in position with paper like this until they're dried out after a week or two, and then he ends up with a perfectly preserved specimen that will go into his collection and last forever.
Moving to Kuranda in far north Queensland in 1904, Dodd cleverly blended his passion for entomology with his flair as a showman.
That's when he prepared his show collections to tour them around to the Australian public. He had his first show here in the School of Arts in Brisbane.
Dodd was particularly proud of this Hercules moth. It's the world's largest moth in wingspan. This creature is exactly the same one pictured in this photograph. Now, this display reminds me of a mystical Eastern mandala, but it's actually called the Grand Parade because it resembles the circles of livestock in the centre ring of an agricultural show. Two of F.P. Dodd's sons, Walter and Alan, took an active interest in their father's work, and Alan went on to become a renowned entomologist in his own right. Alan Dodd was responsible for eradicating prickly pear in Australia with his discovery of the Cactoblastus caterpillar from Argentina. The before and after photos show how successful young Dodd's importation was. Jeff, tell me the story about these butterflies.
Well, they're not all butterflies. The 6 at the bottom are in fact day-flying moths, and these feed on a toxic plant, and so they're very distasteful to birds. The 4 at the top are butterflies, and they, just by pure evolution, have come to look like the moths so that when the birds see them, they think, that's a yucky moth, I'm not going to eat that. Discovered by Dodd in 1908 during their adventurous trip to New Guinea, and it's well known today as being one of the most famous examples of insect mimicry.
It's been said that the caterpillar does all of the work while the butterfly gets all the publicity. But when they end up being as magnificent as these, you can't blame them for having all the fun.